We have conducted our campaign to date. I think it is clear to the electorate and indeed the wider public, both here on the Rock and in the diaspora, that it is the Jamaica Labour Party that is being responsible, sober, and dignified in the conduct of our campaign. Indeed, we are the political party that is serious about a peaceful, more harmonious, and orderly Jamaica. It is quite evident that we regard the right of the Jamaican people to exercise their constitutional right and express their democratic will on election day. We have been clear in the Jamaica Labour Party that we will not promote violence, irresponsible conduct, or attack democratic institutions in our beloved country. Team JLP does not promote or endorse bullyism in any way, shape, or form. And if inappropriate conduct manifests, we are prepared to hold our members and supporters to account and condemn any departure from the standards to which we hold ourselves. On the contrary, however, over the past few days, we have seen incidents which confirm that our main opponents, the opposition PNP, is neither suitable nor ready to govern Jamaica. Their utterances and general posture and attitude project arrogance. It reflects an egregious lack of principle, and it signals a willingness, as it were, to engage in acts of intimidation in apparent breach of the code, the political code of conduct. Team JLP has noted reports of a PNP candidate and his supporters appearing to intentionally posture in a way which signaled a willingness to obstruct or otherwise impede a lawful tour being undertaken by our Prime Minister and Party Leader, Dr. the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, and one of our candidates over recent days. We have seen disrespectful declarations by PNP supporters that the Jamaica Labour Party members and supporters, to include our Prime Minister and Party Leader, cannot come into an area which they clearly regard as their stronghold and feel as though they have ownership and superintendence over that area. We have also seen and heard a PNP activist and well-known PNP blogger on social media threatening that he is willing to open gunfire, kill people, and turn Jamaica into Haiti if his party, the PNP, loses the upcoming general election. The menacing and threatening words that emanated while the individual pledged his loyalty to the PNP candidate in St. Elizabeth is indeed disturbing. As law-abiding Jamaicans, we note and welcome reports in the news media that the individual has been taken into police custody. We also note persistent attacks by the PNP on the media, an important and indispensable pillar in our democratic system of governance. We were neither shocked nor surprised by the PNP's subsequent public admission by way of a media release that they have moved to blacklist all proposed questioners from a particular media entity in the upcoming national debates being organized by the Jamaica Debates Commission. Of note, also, is the PNP's desperate, unwarranted, and quite frankly, childish move to report to the Broadcasting Commission journalists merely because they did not want to be criticized or did not like how they were criticized by the respective journalists. These unprincipled actions do not augur well, nor do they accord with the democratic traditions we hold dear and resolve to uphold and preserve as well-thinking and well-meaning Jamaicans. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, the PNP's actions in relation to the press reveal that they are prepared to be vindictive, oppressive, and dictatorial, using political power to exact vengeance and pursue witch hunts. It is important for the public to note that all of these recent acts have come following certain declarations I speak here of declarations such as a declaration by a misguided PNP candidate that she is prepared for war and, quote, if a war, end quote. And there's also another declaration by another misguided PNP candidate that, quote, she have our man them, end quote. And, quote again, all who switch are going to end up in a ditch, end quote. We condemn in the strongest terms the aforementioned intimidatory, anti-democratic, arrogant, and despicable utterances and actions by the PNP and its representatives. The PNP's entitled approach has no place, quite frankly, in a peace-loving, law-abiding Jamaica where we are committed to elections that are free and fair and, of course, free from fear. It is simply not the kind of politics and society we're seeking to forge here in 2025. However, we are not surprised that there have not been one word of condemnation from the leadership of the PNP, because it was, quite frankly, their very leader, Mark Golding, who set the tone, we believe, for this kind of behavior when he urged his supporters, his PNP followers, to, quote-unquote, get wicked on them. Because in his words, quote, Labour right now go give up this so easy. And of course, he said those things while noting that he represents a PNP garrison, which he said, quote, give him a strength, end quote. There's also the PNP's embattled and beleaguered General Secretary Dayton Campbell, who uttered equally concerning words when he said over in Darlington, Westmoreland, some weeks ago, that when people go low or when others go low, he goes lower. That is not the tone that should be emanating from the de facto chief executive officer, CEO of a political party. And of course, we are all well aware that the PNP is up and down the country, banding about the place their new mantra, blood and fire, indicating that they are blood and fire comrades. Ladies and gentlemen, it is clear that Mark Golding and his supporters, by virtue of their recent and past conduct and utterances, yes, have been reiterating and underscoring for the people of Jamaica that they are simply not suitable, they are not ready, and they are indeed not prepared to lead this beloved and great country of ours. I close by reaffirming that the Jamaica Labour Party remains fully committed to a peaceful general election, an election that is free and fair, and as I said earlier, is free from fear. The way we have conducted our campaign signal that we are committed to the best traditions of peace-loving and harmonious conduct of elections. I thank you.
Very much, Marlon, for that comprehensive presentation. A couple of key nuggets from this media conference convened by the Jamaica Labour Party. First, an indicator that our general election campaign is going well, and we are confident that on general election day, we will retain the confidence of the people of Jamaica. And we say that with confidence and humility, even as we continue to reiterate our key messages as we seek to put forward our agenda to the people of Jamaica, and that agenda is solely to improve the lives of as many Jamaicans as possible. Another indicator from our campaign chairman as well, that the Jamaica Labour Party will not be distracted by the publication of polls. We remain focused on the mission of our party to create development and create a better future and prosperity for the people of Jamaica. I recall as well, when I was 18 years old in 2007, the Don Anderson poll was published on the eve of the general election, showed the PNP ahead by 4 points. Just a few days before the election in 2016, a similar indicator from Don Anderson. Quite surprising to me that we're hearing on the eve of an election from Don that the Jamaica Labour Party has the momentum. But be that as it may, the key message is we won't be distracted by polls because we are confident in the work that we have put in. Another key nugget from the media conference, as Marlon likes to say, is that the Jamaica Labour Party's website, our brand new website, has been launched. and we fully intend to launch our manifesto, as Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith indicated on the weekend. I want to say a special word of commendation as well to Senator Johnson-Smith, who has put in the long hours in, and her team, long hours in making sure that the document pertaining to achievements, the ministry achievements, and the manifesto have become a reality. Quite comprehensive compilation that took a lot of work. The Jamaica Labour Party is confident in our body of work. We're confident that the people of Jamaica are perceptive and will not be distracted by empty rhetoric emanating from the opposition. And eventually, we will retain the confidence of the people on D-Day. And now open the floor for questions. I ask